This is a story about birds, dogs and people. Not these greedy fellows, but birds that may have lived over there and may do so again. The place is Pippi Point. It's a scrubby sort of spot, partially optimistically fenced to protect a certain bird. But now at night at least, it's more a place where teenagers come to light fires and get drunk. The bird in question hasn't been seen for years at Pippi Point. It's the bushstone curlew, this mysterious bird. This couple with their big baby lives at a distant high school and seems to be strangely socialised to the built environment. I saw them near buildings, negotiating fences on the school property, walking around as if enrolled. In the vegetation they use famous curlew tricks, standing motionless to hide, and lying in leaves like a small log. Enter Alan Skinner, passionate defender of the bushstone curlew. Alan dreams that one day a pair, it would always be only two birds given their territorial arrangements, might be living, or at least foraging, back at Pippi Point. In Alan's opinion, the curlew's problem is not cats and foxes, but companion dogs, who he claims have foolishly been allowed to use Pippi Point as an off-leash area.
And at the end of the day, this community feel here. It's a community feel. Look at this.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
We know each other's names, we know each other's dogs' names. And I don't want to get political with the council, but that's supposed to be a curlew area there, and no respecting curlew would live in there. There's all sorts of stuff goes on with the kids.
Yeah.
And so I'm just hoping that we can have a victory here, because it's a wonderful feel.
But it may not be easy. In 2009, Alan managed to scare Gosford Council into taking away dog privileges on the point. And he'll do it again, if he can. Furious dog owners fought back and did get back the area.
Yes. We fought hard and long to get it reopened.
Did you?
Yes. They had no validity in shutting it. And
they did shut it a couple of years ago.
Yes, they did, yes.
And you got it reopened?
We got it reopened, and there's absolutely no reason for them to shut it.
So who's behind it? Where's the force coming from?
I really don't know. I mean, if it's the people behind the bushstone curlew, they've got no premise, because they've actually got a sanctuary for the bushstone curlew, which is around in the old oyster processing plant.
Right.
Which is less than a kilometre away from Pippi Point.
I went looking for the sanctuary. I found it with great difficulty. It's not a sanctuary, actually. It's a holding pen for stressed or wounded birds. Anyway, I found not only it, but Alan, the champion of the bushstone curlew. He's redoubled his efforts, successfully too, for Council is now about to switch yet again. Dogs will not be allowed anywhere on Pippi Point, either on leash or off leash. So it's a harsher policy than the one before. This is not a popular decision, neither with dog owners nor with people who own houses which front onto the new off-leash area.
Look, we're strongly opposed to the council's proposal to create a dog leash area down here from this car park to the next car park.
That's a long road.
Along the reserve down here. Now, it's not just because we live here. This part of the reserve is used a lot by a whole range of people. Elderly people, young people, mothers with prams with young children in it for walking. We have people picnicking along here all the time on rugs, on the reserve furniture. We have weddings here often. The annual putt-putt regatta is held in this part of the reserve.
Yeah.
Now we're all dog lovers, just like everybody else is.
Yeah.
But this is an absurd proposal by the council and should be completely rejected.
So actually it would be moving a very intense activity, because this is intense. Lots of people exercise their dogs.
Yes.
To an area which already has many intense activities.
Exactly. And it's completely inappropriate. Absolutely and completely inappropriate.
This area is a fabulous area for dogs. The biggest problem in terms of the bushstone curlew habitat area there is humans. I mean, we've just picked up this rubbish from Central Wharf to here.
Yeah.
Got knives and all sorts of stuff. I mean, this is what humans do, and that's just from Central Wharf to here. And this has been picked up by dog people who do that sort of stuff. We care about this area and we look after it.
When was the last time a curlew was seen around here?
I have no idea. I've never seen one.
You've never seen one?
No.
Never heard one?
No, but I'm not down here at night.
No. Okay. So how's the campaign going, do you think?
It's going well. The majority of people we've spoken to want to maintain the status quo. The people who live in the houses along the thin strip want that maintained as an on-leash area, and we want this retained as an off-leash area.
Yeah. I believe you've been coming here for 40 years, is that true?
Yes, we've lived here for 41 years, and I've always come down around here with different dogs over the years, and it's a lovely spot and meeting everybody.
Yes.
And the dogs have a lovely time, so why should they stop us?
So your advice to council would be just calm down and let things be.
And just let them forget it and leave us alone.
Do you think they're using the bird as an excuse to do something they want to do for other reasons?
I think there's obviously a secret agenda for this.
Why? What would that be? What could it be?
Somebody's brought up that in one of their old reports there was a cycleway mentioned.
Well, could it not accommodate a cycleway? Because I'm a real cyclist. I would love a cycleway.
Well, I'm a cyclist too. I would love a cycleway as well. I don't see why there can't be a cycleway, and dogs are down here. The cycleway's not going to be around the water's edge.
Well, the other thing strikes me, I think council's just making trouble for itself, because, people are not going to take this lying down. If it is changed, it'll just be a huge headache for council.
Absolutely, and they had a big enough headache with the last 3 or 4 lots that they did.
Whilst I do admire Alan and his conviction that the bushstone curlew is a sort of litmus test for our treatment of the habitats of endangered species, I have to come down, as I told him personally, on the side of the dog. I just can't see denying hundreds of dogs and their owners an exercise environment which they love, just for 2 birds who may or may not turn up. I went back on another day to check my gut reaction and also the alternative they were offering as an off-leash area. Well, I made an interesting discovery. Because it was a weekday evening, there were no weddings or picnics going on, but there was a lot of bird activity. Ironically, much more than at Pippi Point. I saw ducks who could count on being chased. And most at risk, I saw plovers who are actually related to curlews. They looked very vulnerable as they shepherded their fragile young. These plovers got very annoyed, even though I was filming their baby's telephoto, dive-bombing me, as if to say, don't even think about having dogs off-leash here. Back to Pippi Point with your dogs. I gather you're against it.
Just a bit, yes, you could say that.